we should have put in a plus in the interest account and a plus in creditors. What we actually did, the only entry made was 69 credit the interest account, so I put 69 on the credit side here. It's the only thing I did. So that means I didn't do my creditor 0, so I have 96 on the plus side of creditors. This is the thing I should have done in the first place. I didn't do it, so I put that in there, okay? Now, with fixing the interest, I should have had 96 in here. I put 69 on the wrong side because it says the only thing I did was 69 credit to the interest account. Now, if I can just talk you through how should you sometimes fix a mistake. Imagine you're doing a piece of maths homework, or history homework, or Irish homework, and you know at the end of it it's crap. So what you would do there is you'd cross it off and start again. Does that make sense? Sometimes with your maths homework, you might make a small mistake and I can just fix the little mistake and continue with my homework. But sometimes you get to the stage, it's rubbish. I'm going to cancel the thing I did there and start again. So with this 69 here, the easiest thing to do is let's cancel it. So I'm going to put 69 on the opposite side to cancel that. And then I'm going to do the thing I should have done in the first place, which is 96 on this side. So this 165 is 69 to cancel a mistake and 96 to do the thing I should have done in the first place. Okay with that?
So,
yeah.
So you don't even put the 69 on the wrong side.
Yeah.
You do that on purpose.
No, this was the mistake that they made.
Ah,
So remember, a whole thing about control accounts is we are fixing mistakes that some other person has made. So we're fixing mistakes that they made. They did it wrong, okay? So next one. So the second part of this first one, after protest, the interest was reduced to 40, so the 59 that you mentioned, okay, earlier on. So we're going to bring the interest down to 59. So, to 40, sorry. So we're taking 56 away from it. So to take 56 away from the interest, we'll have a minus in the interest and a minus in creditors. None of that was done, so the correction is 56 in here and 56 in there. Okay? Now, how do I take that information and put that into the control account? So I've got creditors. I'm just looking down here on the right-hand side. There's creditors. That all goes into the list of balances. Okay? So we've got 96 in here on the credit side, and we've got 56 on the debit side. Okay? Which is the minus side. So I'm going to add 96 in the list, and I'm going to take away interest 56. Is that right? Or what I could do instead is, I think, Nathan, this is what you did. What I could do instead is take the two of them away, and I could have maybe 40 in there and nothing in there. Either is correct. Is that right? So then go and do the other side. So the interest account 165 plus. So that means more interest is charged.
Sullivan, no here, no.
No.
Okay. Or Ryan Barry, no.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a plus in the expense account. So, or you could say it's a debit here, so that means it's a credit here. And that's where it goes in there. Is that okay with that? I'll continue on the next one. Discount received from supplier 154 treated discount disallowed. So we have discount received, which is an income that I'm getting, okay, and which is taken away from creditors. We actually treat it as the wrong thing. So instead of saying money is taken away, money was added on. So it was put in as a plus. So to fix it, I double it and put it on the correct side. So that 308 I have here is one of them, 154 is to cancel a mistake, and then the other is to do what should have happened in the first place. So take this, and then I'm going to put this into my list. So it's minus, it's on the minus side, the debit side, so therefore in my list, I'll put 308 there, and I'll call it discount. And then it's on the credit side of this, okay, of the discount account, so therefore it's in the debit side of this one here, and we'll call it discount. 308. Okay, next one. Question 3. So creditors, I'm just having a quick look at this one. Our best received an invoice from a supplier 630, but entered in the day book as 360. However, no entry made in the personal account. So the amount is, first sentence is, you received an invoice 630. So you should be thinking, this is a purchase. An invoice is because of purchases. So I owe my creditors 630 more and I have more purchases. But what I did was, I put in the day book is 360, so therefore the total of the day book was too low. I had 360 included as a total instead of 630. And I did nothing in the personal account. So the personal account, fix it, we do the thing we should have done in the first place. And the control, well, we had 360 in. Now what you could do is cancel the mistake by doing 360 on the credit side and then do the thing we should have done in the first place on the debit side. Or I just add it on, which is the net figure. Okay, so purchase is 270. Okay, so that's more purchases, which means more money is owed to my creditors. So I'm going to take that 270 and put it on the credit side of the control. So that's over here. And then I'm going to, in my list, I'm going to add 630 in my list for purchases. Okay. Any questions? Stop me if you need me, yeah? Okay, so I'll move on to question 4. Credit note received. So credit note always makes me think returns from a supplier 180. The only entry made, so that means I only did one thing. So credit note returns, this is to do with purchases. So therefore it's purchase returns. So purchase returns, remember purchase is an expense, purchase returns would be an income. So I have that on credit side. And my creditors 180 less is owed. The only entry made was 108 credit to the creditors account. So I put 108 on the credit side of the creditors account. And to fix it then, okay, and I did nothing else. So to fix the purchases, I just put the thing I should have done in the first place. Creditors, I'll have 108 is going to put on the debit side to cancel the thing I did wrong. And then I need to put at 180 to do the thing I should have done in the first place. So that's where 288 comes from.
Does C here, if you put 108 on that side,
Yeah.
the bottom not become 0 then?
Okay, the 108 cancels the thing I did.
But does that not become 0 as well? If the second figure added both of them together?
No, so what I've got here is, on this side I've got 108 to cancel my mistake, and then I've got 180 to do the thing I should have done in the first place. Those two together add up to be 288. If I had put, for example, 108 on the debit side, so we'll do that one now. So instead, if the question told me he put it on the debit side, not the credit side, well then to fix it, well, we want 108 or 180 to be there. We've put in 180 on the same side, so we've put too little in, so we'll need to add something to bring it up from 108 to 180. In that case, the amount you put in would be 180 minus the 108. Okay? But in the case that we're doing here, it's 108 was put in there. So to fix it, I'll have one of the 108s, or one entry to cancel the mistake, and I'll have another entry to do what should have happened in the first place. Okay? So let's take this here, the 288. I'm going to put that then into my list. So it's on the minus side, so we'll go less. And it's purchases returns. And it's 288. And then over here I have purchase returns 180 more. Okay, so this is on the credit side, so I'll put it on the debit side there, and it's 180. Next one. Again, I'm going through this quite quickly. Cash purchases 160 and credit purchases have a debit to the supplier's account. So I'm going to treat this as two separate things. So cash purchases 160. Where should that have gone? It should not have gone anywhere in the accounts, because we bought the goods and we paid for them. So we don't owe more or less, we owe the same. So whatever we did do, we're just going to cancel. So I said it was debited to the supplier's account, so I'm going to credit the suppliers to get rid of the 160. So it should never have been put into creditors or anywhere else. I debited the creditors account, so to fix it, I'm going to put it on the opposite side. So that means I do nothing in the control, because nothing needs to be corrected, because control was done right. The creditors, I have 160 on the credit side, which is a plus. So I'll go to my list and I'll add 160. And I'll call it cash purchase. Okay so far? Okay. Just going to squeeze a couple of extra lines in here because I don't think I've got enough room. Okay. Next one then. The credit purchase of 830 have been debited to the supplier's account. So credit purchases, well, we have more purchase, which is debit. Okay. We owe our creditors more money. Okay, so that's correct. Okay. What we actually did was we put 830 on, it says on the debit side, okay, in the supplier's account. It should have been on the credit. So to fix it, I'll put 2 entries. I'll double it. And then we're assuming that the purchase was done right. So I don't need to do anything in the purchase, so therefore I do nothing in the control account. Okay with that? So 160 is on the plus side of that, so I'll go to my list and I'll add in 160, or 1660. And that's purchases. Next one then, best return goods 160 to supplier, enters correctly in the books. Later credit note showing a deduction of 10% restocking. So we've done the 160 correctly, okay? The restocking charge is 10%, so that's what we need to deal with. So the total amount of the credit note was debited to the creditor's account and 140 entered in the incorrect side of the nominal ledger. So what I should have just done, I should only, because I've dealt with the sales returns correctly, I'm only dealing with the restocking charge. So 10% of 160 is all I should have put in. I should have put in €16 on the plus side of creditors and €16 on the restocking charge account. That's what I should have done. What I actually did, it says here, was total amount of the credit note. Now the credit note was €160 less 10%. So 90% of €160 is 144. So I should have put in 144 less. Okay, sorry, no, sorry. 144 was the credit note that was actually sent out. Okay, and what did I do with this 144? I should have only, when I read the credit note, I should only have entered the 16. That's all I should have done. But I put the full amount of the credit note where the total amount of the credit note was debited to the creditor's account. So on the debit side of the creditor's account, I put the full amount of the credit note. And in the nominal ledger, I put 144. So the nominal ledger is the other account, or the ledger, record book 3 from Junior Cert. I put 140 on the wrong side of the restocking charge account. Okay, so it's the incorrect side. Should have been on the debit, put on the credit, and I put the wrong amount on the credit. So to fix it, I'll put 140 to cancel the mistake that I did, and I'll do 16 to do the thing I should have done in the first place. So that's 156 restocking, and that is on the debit side, which means we have more restocking. We were charged more money, so that means it goes up here. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do now. Now you could do it as 2 separate entries, but I think adding the 2 of them together makes life easier. Okay, and I know in previous questions that's what we've done. In the creditor's account here, now, so the personal account, to fix it, I'm going to do 144 to cancel the thing I did wrong, and 16 to do what I should have done in the first place. So the total of those two is 160, and 160 is going to be on the plus side. So on my list, I'll have that here. And it's €160.